Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the offseason after back-to-back Super Bowls here in the Lions franchise. So hit that like button, and I just want to recap a couple of things now. Before I get into the offseason, I want to just look over a couple of guys who had major seasons. Kerryon Knight, he is now 86 overall, 88 with morale, the number 21 ranked wide receiver. And just remember, he did actually get 1,000 yards. He is going to be a team captain heading into his second season. Now, we do have a couple of contracts to negotiate here. Tylan Wallace is one. He will be set to hit free agency. I just want to take a quick look at his stats and just show you exactly what we'd either be re-signing or letting go. He is about a 60, I'd say, maybe like 57 or 56 reception average per year, and 8 touchdowns 2 years ago, 3 only this year because Kerryon Knight definitely took away a lot of that. But then he's never really had a 1,000-yard season, but he is still 24 years old and still really young. Now, Kenny Galladay is another free agent, and let's just look at his stats throughout his career with us the last 6 years. Last year was his best year yet, 945 yards, 6 touchdowns. Actually, you know what? In season 1 where we had him, he actually went for over 1,000 yards, 73 catches, and 3 touchdowns. But this was definitely his best year because of kind of the guys that we had around him as well. And then he had his most touchdowns with 6 as well. And that's actually a career high, really. Kenny Galladay's never had more than 6 touchdowns. That's pretty surprising to me. But yeah, I guess 6 is his career high. Now, I've always said I wanted to get Marlon Yarbrough more involved. I think that's what I'm going to do come next year. I thought it was going to be this year, but Kerryon Knight definitely took the shine away from him. He's still under contract for 2 more years and did not have a great season, but I think I'm going to be looking to let go of Tylan Wallace, and that will definitely unleash the reins on Marlon Yarbrough. Now, Trey Flowers did re-sign with us, which is a good thing because if we would have re-signed him last year, that would have been like a $50 million contract. Ends up being only a 20-something million now. So 4 straight double-digit sack seasons. Last year was actually his career high, 15.5. But at the cornerback position, we're going to need to address some stuff here because Chris Harris Jr. looks like he's gone. He may have retired now. He may be done for sure. Darius Slay is 34 years old. We definitely need some replacements here. Tim Jackson is 27. Vincent McLeod is good, but he hasn't really shown that he can get to that 80 overall. He's just been lingering around 76, 78 overall. We definitely need to address that in offseason. And I want to talk about the offensive line. Now, we do have some offensive linemen up for free agency. Now, I was thinking about drafting a guy for Jack Spell, but he's gone up to 74 overall, 76 with morale, number 29 in the league. He's actually pretty decent now, and he's actually made quite a few strides to at least get some overall points up. Damian Lewis, our backup left guard, is going to be a free agent. I don't think I'm going to re-sign him because it's going to take a lot for him to stay with us. And I'm just looking at Taylor Decker. He is a free agent as well. I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to look at free agency to see who we will re-sign, but he's definitely up for a new contract. So let's hop into free agency. So Travis Etienne is going to hit free agency as well, along with Damian Lewis and Tylan Wallace, who we mentioned, along with Taylor Decker. But one guy I do want to re-sign, Joe Gammon, is a really good kicker. We actually signed him when he was 70 overall. Look at my controllers running out of batteries. All right, we're back. Now, I wanted to kind of address Joe Gammon, and I actually looked up this guy's name. It's Yetur Gross Matos. I've been saying it wrong this entire time. Kind of feel bad a little bit, but he is 71 overall, in the middle of his prime, age 26. I don't know if it shows playoff stats, but he definitely came through for us in the playoffs, and his ratings aren't even that good, I would say, but honestly, he showed up when it mattered. So I'm going to actually re-sign him, and I'm going to give him more than a 1-year contract because I think he's a good backup, and I'm going to sign him to a 2-year deal. I'm going to give him what he wants. Hopefully he does accept this. He doesn't hit free agency, so he will. He will accept that. And then I do want to sign Joe Gammon. He is amazing as a kicker, 97 power. He's the number 5 ranked kicker in the league at 77 overall. They definitely need to address that a little bit because no reason the 77 overall kicker should be the best in the league. But let's just see. Let's just sign him to a 4-year. Man, $15 million is a lot of money for a kicker. I think you can get another one. Let's just let him walk, and let's just hop into free agency along with the other free agents. All right, so before hopping into free agency, it looks like Chris Harris did retire, so he is done. So we will have to get another cornerback in free agency, but the free agent class is pretty big. David Bakhtiari is the top free agent at 96 overall. He is the best left tackle, but a $30 million contract over 2 years for a 96 overall tackle is not bad at all. But take a look who's next. It's Khalil Mack. At 34 years old, he is only demanding a 1-year deal worth $23 million. That is amazing, and the reason why is because he is still the number 2 ranked left tackle in the NFL, and he had 20 sacks. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Now let's look at the other top guys. David Njoku's there. Fletcher Cox is there. J.K. Dobbins is there. That is an interesting guy as well, but we do have 2 free agent running backs in Travis Etienne. I do want to look at who's our running backs on the roster right now and just take a look at that. And it looks like it's just Kennedy Brooks and Kerry Reedy. Now, I don't know if I trust Kerry Reedy. Now, he does have big playability, but I got to be honest, he did not impress me like I thought he would. Now, he will have a lot of trade value, so maybe a one-hit wonder is what he's going to be with us. Who knows? But let's just take a look at the rest of the top free agents. I didn't go through the rest. Tylan Wallace is there. Kenny Galladay is there. Trey Turner is there. Mecole Hardman is back in free agency. There's Damian Lewis, our former guard, who didn't even play really. He was our backup guard. Travis Etienne is up there too. So we have a lot of our top guys as free agents. Jake Fromm is in free agency. Surprising to see that as well. And then Taylor Decker's there. So let's just look at some of the guys that we may re-sign. So let's start out at receiver, and the top 3 of the 4 have played for the Lions at some point here in this franchise. And look at T. Higgins from Clemson. He's there, 25 years old, 81 overall. But the guy I do want to re-sign here is, like I've been talking about, it's Galladay. And I'm not gonna kind of lowball him, but I'm gonna ask him for less than what he's wanting, because I don't think he's truly worth that much money because he's 31 years old. He is 84 overall, obviously, and I think I'm going to go with this 3-year, about $20 million. I hate that it resets every time you move to the next page, but let's do 3 years, $21 million. I think that's good enough, and let's see how many points we get out of that. 76, so that just might be enough to get him. But then we need to spend a little bit of money on another receiver just in case, and just in case of injury as well. CeeDee Lamb is actually here at 25 years old, and he is 76 overall. He is star development, obviously out of Oklahoma. I will change his face to make him have dreads as well if I do get him. But looking at his ratings, he's really not that impressive right now. His catching is obviously really, really good. But the guy I'm really looking at right here is Henry Ruggs III out of Alabama. Now, here's the thing. He's not demanding a lot of money. He's 76 overall and star development, so he's still in the middle of his prime. A lot like Tylan Wallace, just like him, but honestly, a lot more athletic. 96 speed, 94 acceleration, 85 catching. I can get behind this because if I can use him in space and just use that speed a lot like I use Keon Knight, I think I can get it done with him. So I'm going to offer him what he's wanting. 2-year here, $6.72 million. Add some more depth to our roster. That will give us 93 points. Now, Taylor Decker's asking for about $9 million total. I want to go a little bit below that. So I'm going to look at this guy, Trey Adams, who is 4 years younger than Taylor Decker. And he's also got the size, 6'7", 327, and asking for a little bit less. He'll be about $7 million a year. So I'm going to actually offer him a contract. And just looking at his ratings, he is the number 18 left tackle. I believe Taylor Decker's 10. So looking at him right now, he's got decent pass block power. And that's one thing that we've definitely lacked because, the power guys coming around the edge like Khalil Mack. And I think guys like that, they've been killing us. But I like this guy, Trey Adams, 2 years, about $7.8 million a year. I will take that. He's 4 years younger than Taylor Decker, too. Now, we have about $78 million in cap room. And one thing I would love to do, and it would absolutely dismantle the Bears more than likely. I can't imagine that they would be good without Khalil Mack. Let's sign Khalil Mack. Now, I would say that we need to break the bank on Khalil Mack if we want to get him. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to sign him to, I'm going to give him a 2-year, $50 million deal. That's $25 million a year for a pass rusher. I think that is amazing as far as the deal goes. And let's see how that competes. So it gives us 102 points. It puts us in first place over the Bears. So I've definitely seen in past free agencies where you may have more points, but he ends up not even signing with you. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Now, the last position that I do want to sign here is a cornerback. And the cornerback class is not deep at all. And I do want to kind of go with cornerback in the draft too, so I don't have to really sell out for a cornerback here. So I'm going to go for youth here. So I'm going to look at a few guys here. Zamel McCann is the first. He is 25 years old. He is only 89 speed, but 84 man and 69 zone. So that zone is a little low. Rick Shelby is the next. He's 27 years old, 76 overall, 84 man, but 63 zone. So a little bit less than that. Brendan Applewhite is 26 years old. He is 5'10", 90 speed, 66 zone, but 76 awareness. But it looks like he demands the least amount of money. So I think I actually might go with Brendan Applewhite. I believe, let's see, 7.16. Okay, that's the same amount for him. And let's look at Robert Jeffrey, and he would be 26 years old, 77 overall as well. And his zone is really, really bad, but his awareness is good. So it's just weird. I don't know who to go with here. And I might just go with the awareness guy because it just makes a little more sense because you want your guys to make smart plays. But Zamel McCann has a higher zone, 69. It might be easier to get him upgraded. But let's go back to Jeffrey one more time. He's pretty decent, but I just don't know. 89 speed, 82 awareness. You know what? I'm going to go with the cheaper option here. I'm going to go with Zamel McCann. And it looks like he is going to be 25 years old, which is pretty good. Actually, let's go back down. Is Applewhite 25? No, he's 26. So, yeah, let's go with the 25-year-old here. 89 speed isn't too bad. I don't think he'll get burned too much. And honestly, the awareness is a problem for me, but I think I can get him up a little bit. And if not, I'll just draft a cornerback anyway. All right, so it looks like Henry Ruggs does accept that contract. Adams accepts it as well. Khalil Mack actually did reject it, so we'll see what happens with him. Galladay accepts it, so it looks like he did take less than what he was asking for. Our kicker, Joe Gammon, we offered him a 7-year deal, actually, so a really long deal. Make sure he doesn't hit free agency. And then McCann does sign with us. So the last guy here really is Khalil Mack, and if I can't get him, I just want to make sure that the Bears don't get him. And let's just see. They are the top bid still. Look at this. So they probably up that deal. But it looks like he did sign with them. So, wow. I thought he was still looking for a new contract. It looks like he just re-signs with the Bears. So, looks like we missed out on him. So, we will need to focus our attention to at least a pass rusher here or a pass rusher in the draft. And looking at the pass rushers here, I don't see anybody that really catches my eye. Jose Sweet is 26 years old, but he's not really anything too impressive. Looks like he did decline a little bit as well. And then Sean Wilkins, let's just look at him really quick. He's 27, but it looks like his finesse moves are pretty good. He's number 16 ranked left outside linebacker in the league, but I'd rather just get a rookie and kind of get him on a rookie deal. And looking at right outside, I don't see anything here. So after free agency, this is what I think Madden needs to fix here. There's some 80 overall running backs that are still unsigned. Matt Breida, Aaron Jones, Ito Smith, all guys that probably should have got signed. David Bakhtiari goes over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Khalil Mack, obviously, with the Chicago Bears. He re-signs there on a 1-year deal. Jesse Bates goes to the Denver Broncos. David Njoku goes to the Seahawks. Fletcher Cox to the Bengals. And they've actually signed a couple of guys. They signed Von Miller a couple years ago. They like to sign these veteran defensive linemen / pass rushers. J.K. Dobbins goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jordan Love, he leaves the Colts. Interesting move here. Jordan Love brought the Colts to the playoffs and pretty good records, and he ends up going to a different team. Tylan Wallace signs with the Steelers, so he will be in the AFC now. T. Higgins signs with the Panthers. Mecole Hardman signs with the Giants. And let's see where ETN signs. Oh, he signs with the Denver Broncos. So the Broncos are signing quite a few guys with Taylor Decker also leaving. He goes to the Panthers. And look at the Broncos. They're loading up. They signed Jake Fromm too. So that's an interesting kind of free agency for them. So we obviously have the last pick in the draft, and really what I'm looking for here in this draft, I'm not even looking to trade really at all. I just want pass rushers, obviously, to kind of, still add some depth to our team, cornerbacks, and then I also want offensive linemen, along with maybe a running back, because obviously we lost Travis Etienne in free agency, so I do want to kind of add depth there and kind of maybe find a gem at all if we find one. So I'm really going best player available, to be honest, and let's see what the first pick is in the draft. Let's just see who he is, and it's going to be Jaden Capers, left tackle out of Texas. Now, I mentioned that this class is just computer generated from Madden, and just looking at the top guys here, the left tackle was the #1 overall prospect. But then looking at some other guys, let's just look at this cornerback who I did end up scouting. He is an early first-round talent, B+ man, B press, B awareness. If he drops, no way he does anyway. But just looking at the rest of these top guys, you can just see this is all Madden here. So let's just advance to our pick to see what we end up with. All right, so the guy that was picked ahead of us was Raheem Wright. He was a 70 overall cornerback, and we are going to pick. We're not looking to trade here in this draft. And let's just look at our draft board. I don't have a lot of guys on my draft board. I just have kind of guys that I scouted as gems in the draft. And I was looking at Lamont Kelly. Now, Lamont Kelly is a pass rusher, right outside linebacker. He has B+ finesse moves, B+ pursuit, and B- tackling. He is the most athletic right outside linebacker. And I don't see anybody else that's got like a first-round grade that's on my draft board. So like I said, let's just look at BPA. Let's just look at best player available here and see if there's any guys that kind of have the first-round tag on them. And it doesn't look like it. I mean, to be honest, the only guy that I really saw here, okay, Lamont Kelly and Terrence Bacon that we had scouted here. Let's see what he is. So he is a late first-rounder. He's 21 years old. He's a defensive tackle. We have been looking for a defensive tackle. Sean Chapman got hurt last year, and that definitely hurt us a little bit. But then looking at Nazir Reese, he's decent, but not really anything that will kind of blow you away. So I am thinking here that I am going to go with the guy that I would like to see here is Lamont Kelly. He is 22 years old. He's a speed rusher, a late first-round talent. We'll be picking him at the last pick of the first round, and we do end up with a 71 overall, so I guess it's one higher than the last guy. Number 27 in true talent. We drafted him at 32, so it was a good value there, 5 to be exact. 79 finesse moves, and let's see his speed because he was faster. 85, there it is. 85 speed, 79 pursuit. Not bad for a first-round pick. Actually, not better than our other first-round picks that we usually have. Okay, so now we're at round 2, pick 32, and I did have some late third rounders, fourth rounders scouted here, and I do have a couple of second round draft grade guys that I'm going to look at here. And I looked at Eric Felix before, and I think I'm going to look at this guy, Lonnie Howard. Now, he is slower, though, and that's a thing. He is 4.53 speed, but I do need a future at cornerback, but he's 23. I wish he was maybe 21 or 22. That would be amazing. But B-man coverage, B press, B- awareness, that just lets me know that he's just a physical corner. I just want to look at our draft board really quick to just make sure we don't have anybody that's really over or really we can get at this pick, and I don't see anybody. These are all 4th and 5th round and 7th round projected guys, so maybe we can look at some of these guys that are kind of projected to go up here and that should go up here. And Jawan Mack, let's just take another look at him. He is another slow guy. It looks like he's just a guy that can go up and get it. 6'4", 235, but 23 years old. Let's just see if there's some other top guys here that are projected to go near this pick. Obviously, Jason Vaughn, a left tackle that we found. Lead block at B+, pass block at B-. He's actually not bad at all, but he's 23. Man, where are the younger guys in this draft? Not really too many that I'm seeing here. And looking at the guys that we did scout, Anthony Lenz is the next guy. He looks really, really good. So if he's there at our next pick, I think I'm going to go with Anthony Lenz, but I think he might fall one more round. I don't think he'll fall 2 more. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go best player available here, and I'm going to go with Lonnie Howard, the guy who we did scout. He is older at 23, but oh well. I think that, if we do get good value out of him, he will be a good pick here. So let's go with him and see what we get. 69 overall. He is drafted at number 42. He's 42 in true value. We drafted him at 64. So that kind of shows you that this might be just a weak draft class. And looking at his awareness, 72 isn't bad for a rookie. 88 speed actually isn't too bad. I thought he'd be slower than that, but decent man, bad zone. I guess that's as good as you're going to get here. And you can see we drafted him way more than his value. So now here we are at round 3, pick 32, and yeah, I'm just guessing that this is just a very, very weak draft class. You can see we scouted some guys here that are projected to be within the next few picks or so, and they're all undrafted talents. I mean, that just shows you how weak this class really is. So we're just going to go to our draft board here because I do have a couple of guys that I was looking at. Quentin Childs is a good running back. Let's just look at his draft card, though. He actually has good speed, good vertical jump, means he's athletic, but he's 23 years old. I think I can maybe snag him in a couple of more rounds. We'll have to see. We have 2 fourth-round picks, so we're going to have a couple of picks next round. But a guy I'm looking at here is a late second-round talent. He's 21 years old, and this is kind of what I'm looking at here. Youth and just depth. Luther Rivers looks like the guy here, but let's just look at the last 2 guys we have on our draft board here. Another cornerback, Walter Anthony, doesn't really do anything too well, but he has B- man coverage, and he's 5th round projected. And then just a normal guy, Chris Grove. So I'm looking at Luther Rivers. I don't want him to fall anymore. I can definitely use a couple of years to actually develop him since he's 21. So let's see, another 68 overall guy. And let's just see, he's 53 in true talent and 96 we drafted him at. This is a very, very weak draft class, and I have not gotten any hidden dev trait guys. All right, so round 4, pick 23, and the way this draft is looking, I'm looking to probably trade out of it because I do not have anybody really scouted that is really worth going after. I did want to draft an offensive lineman, but all the offensive linemen that we pretty much scouted have been drafted already, so we're in pretty bad shape right now, and I'm just trying to look at anybody that we scouted that is worth getting at all, and I don't see anybody. I mean anybody. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to trade back and trade out of this draft to next draft. We do still have Nathan Beaver here, and I'm going to probably select him with one of our later picks. I will take a closer look at him in a couple rounds, but let's just trade out of this pick, maybe the next couple picks. All right, so let's trade back. We'll just trade to next year's. Oh, that's actually 2 years down the road. Wait, what are we in? We're in 2025, right? So I think we're in the 2025 draft. Yeah, we are. So we're in the 2025 draft. Let's just trade into the 2026 draft. So if there is a draft pick, we will trade into it. New York looks like they're going to be it. We have another one here, but I think they're like the same. Let's just trade New York. Who cares? All right, so we're at pick 4, round 4, pick 28. Let's actually just trade back as well and get into next year's draft. Let's see the 2026 draft. Atlanta looks like they're still trying to trade us here. So let's just trade Atlanta, get 2 fourth rounders next season. All right, we had 3 fourth rounders actually. So the Rams now, it's your turn. We're going to trade back in that one. And now let's just see. So we have a 5th round pick. And I believe I'm going to select Nathan Beaver with this pick just to get him on the squad and develop him. Well, it looks like we have a 6th round pick as well, so maybe we should trade back here. Let's just see what we got for offers, and I'm pretty sure... Oh, so a 2026 4th rounder. They're trying to get into the 6th round here? Wow, 2 of them. So, man, I mean, I'm taking this. It's from the Bears. Let's just take this pick. It's going to be a bad pick for them because... well, we'll see. Let's see who they draft with this pick. I'm actually pretty curious now. Looks like they drafted the last pick, so it looks like they're looking at another guy and a 58 overall receiver. That's pretty bad. Oh, so it turns out Nathan Beaver did get drafted, so we did miss out on him. And quite frankly, I'm just going to take a guy here and maybe not one of the guys that we scouted here, but let's just take any one of these guys and hopefully they come out pretty good. Let's just take Martin German here, and he is a 6th round projected pick. He is 21 years old, so who cares? It doesn't really matter at this point. 57 overall. Not sure he's going to make the roster at all. Probably not. It looks like he's just a guy, not really good at all. And then we have one more pick, and let's just advance to that pick. I'm probably going to trade out of this 7th pick, and I wouldn't imagine who would want to trade for this pick, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be offers for next season. 6th rounders. Wow, I can't believe teams are actually trying to trade up. And we will swap with the Dolphins. Let's see who they select with this pick just to see. Lucas Blackwell, 57 overall. And let's just look at the recap because I want to see how good this draft class was because it was very, very weak for us. Our highest rated guy was a 71 overall. And let's just look round by round who was the best overall. And it looks like the first pick was 76, second pick was 77, a couple of 78 guys, and then after that it kind of dropped off. 69s, 74 sprinkled in there, a bunch of 69 overalls, and a 67, so not really good at all. Let's just look round by round, see who was the highest overall guy, and it looks like a 77 in the second round, a left guard was 71 in the third, a 70 overall Quentin Childs, who I actually had on my draft board, he goes in the 4th, and then a 74 overall left tackle, Eric Gray, in the 5th round. Wow, that's really, really good value. And then it looks like in the later rounds, nobody really worth noting. So not a lot of activity here in the 7th offseason as we just needed to just shore up our line and just re-sign some veterans. Not really too much to do, and the draft was really, really weak. And just looking at free agency, we do need to sign a running back, though, because we have 2 on the roster. I do want to get it to 4 because we all know how fragile running backs are in Madden this year. And just looking at the running backs available, Devin Singletary is there, but he's only 86 speed. Let's just look at him. He's 27 years old, and I don't know about having him on the roster just because I need a kind of a faster back. Kennedy Brooks is decent speed. He's still on the roster. Austin Eckler is 30 years old, and he's pretty good. I got to admit, he's pretty good right now at 30, 76 overall. This is a good backup running back type of this is kind of mold you want as a backup. He can break tackles. He obviously is good with catching the ball out of the backfield, and he's a good 3rd down back because I'm not sure as Kerry Reedy what type of leap he will make in his 3rd season, his 2nd season with us. So let's just sign Austin Eckler to a deal, and he will be on the preseason roster. So I did scour free agency to find any type of hidden dev player that is a rookie, and this was the only one I could find. Tay Watson, 84 speed. Definitely not signing him, though, because he's pretty bad. He's 57 overall. I mean, this was just a weak draft class. I gotta admit it, man. I've never seen a draft class this weak, but that's okay because that's kind of why you kind of love Madden, to be honest. They kind of switch it up a little bit on you, and just looking at who is best available in free agency, Kyle Fuller is still there, so we could actually get Kyle Fuller. He's superstar trait, 33 years old. This could actually make a lot of sense for us. So I think I actually might sign him to the active roster just to put him on the roster and just to have more depth at cornerback. So that will do it here for the offseason as we hop into Season 7. You see we do start out playing the AFC North, I believe, this year. So pretty different for us. And let's just look at our regular season schedule. And I am excited to actually play Baker Mayfield. I don't think I've ever played him here in this series. And like I mentioned in the top 5 weird things that happen in franchise, the Browns are always good. So that might actually be a good game. So we do play the Cowboys once again this year as well. We play Lamar Jackson again because we played him in the Super Bowl. Steelers, we play at the Steelers, the Giants as well. And then we play the Panthers and Bengals. So we will play a couple of our former players here this season. So that will be pretty fun. So that's going to do it here for the offseason. Let me know what you guys think of this team going forward. Not a lot of big changes going into this season, but we're looking to three-peat here for the first time ever in a series that I've ever had. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though, yeah. Hey, it don't even matter though, no. Hey, it don't even matter.